What is up, guys? We're out here today making another video for you guys. Thanks for tuning in to Ghost Media. So what we got going on here today is me and Nick, as you can see, we're going to be spraying this bumper Camaro here. I believe it's a 78 or 80, yeah. So we're going to be spraying this car here. I'll kind of get you a little glimpse of this here. Pretty clean car. We're just going to be doing a bumper. We originally were going to blend, but after we looked at the pinstripes and all the R&I for the chrome pieces, we're going to kind of go for the moon here and see if we can get the match for it. I think the paint match will be pretty close.
The PPG that they mixed was...
Yeah, we had a couple of different options for brands, Deltron or Omni, and so we went with Deltron, which is, you know, PPG's higher brand there. So we're going to go ahead and get the tripod set up here, and we're going to get to work on taking this bumper off. Alright guys, so we got the bumper off. Took a little more time than usual just because we were trying to figure it out. So this bumper is a raw bumper, so we're gonna have to prep that a little different than a primered bumper. It looks kind of crappy for a couple reasons. Just like the plastic's all marred up on there, so we're gonna either try and sand it or we're gonna have to try and fill that. So he's out there. Yeah, he's right out. So anyway, bumper is off. We're gonna be putting this on a stand here, and we're gonna get to work on that. So yeah, we're gonna kind of hopefully try and make this work. So we'll see how it goes. All right, guys. So we're gonna go head over to another little shop, and we're gonna actually be giving a block back to somebody. So we're going to take a quick pause on that, and once we get back, we're going to go ahead and get on this bumper, get this thing done with, bag it and tag it, and hopefully get this sprayed here in a little bit. So what is up, guys? We just got back here to the shop. We had to run and get a couple extra loose ends that we had to kind of forgot we needed. Especially with working with plastic, you got to be really into detail with that because plastic reacts to chemicals a certain way. So there's like a little small process you have to go through depending on the bumper. If you get a raw bumper, you have to go through different steps than if you have a primered bumper that comes like that, because they either come raw or they either come primed. So there's a couple of different ways to go about that. And this is a raw bumper, and unfortunately, like we already stated, there is some gouges on it, so we're gonna have to kind of like sand those out a little bit by also trying to put as minimal filler as possible. I don't like filling on plastic. I would have gotten this bumper returned and gotten a little bit better. But we're gonna make do with what we got. Everything is good to go. We're gonna get this thing up on a stand here, back the car up a little bit, and we're gonna hopefully get this thing rolling. So let's get to work. As you guys can kind of see, like, we're working in somebody else's shop. So we're working at Todd's shop over here at Muscle Car Concepts. So they have a lot of high-end builds here and a lot of used space. So we have to make sure we respect their space, basically just keep it in mind that everything here is nothing of ours. So if we were to damage something like that, it's out of our pockets. So I don't want to display everything, but they have a lot of big things here, a lot of fully rebuilt cars, fully redone restorations. So something like this would be wouldn't say catastrophic, but it would be a big deal. So that's why having the Camaro in here and trying to put that hood out of the way without getting in the way of everything else over here makes it kind of hard. So we just had to work around it, but it's not a big deal. So we're gonna keep going at it here. There's a lot of high-end stuff here, and we just want to respect the space, and we're grateful to be able to use this booth and do some side stuff here and there. So let's get to work. So let me show you guys a little bit what we're working with here. So you can kind of see all these little points that are pretty marred up. Some of this stuff, like in here, so sorry, it's a little bit of a concern, but this isn't a big deal. I can razor blaze that, but there's a grill back there as well. But it's just really bad quality. And so we're gonna have to try and get this looking best we can. Some of this stuff is okay. We'll, you know, cover that with, you know, material and whatnot, but definitely gonna take some work to get this prepped out here. So, I don't know. Personally, I would've got a new bumper, but it is what it is. So, but something to look forward to in the next couple of videos. I'm gonna probably be doing a all-wheel drive video, just talking about the all-wheel drive setups that you can run for a Honda, just kind of things like that. That's one of the ideas I was kind of putting together. Some future things for the channel, just trying to make things work as far as that goes. So this is kind of like the cool stuff that I like doing. I like working on other people's cars, painting stuff, working on my own cars, painting stuff. But obviously I want to get this channel going. I want to start getting things rolling. So eventually, you know, we can mainly stick to the builds, stick to some customer vehicles here and there. But yeah, we're totally stoked to get this job going here. And I think it's my first gold I've ever sprayed, so that'd be really cool as well. And this is a little bit of a difficult color, so it'll be good to get that underneath the belt, that's for sure. So. We're about halfway through prepping this. Not really halfway through, but like I said, we had those little gouges. So what we did was we roughed up the edges a little bit, try to like smooth it out best we can. And then as you can see here, we only left the filler where the holes were. So anything else we just sanded kind of sanded it a little smooth with some finer grits here. This isn't what everybody does for their first choice, but this is what we got to work with, so this is what we're using. Totally okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up a little bit in grits here, just kind of smooth everything out that was around it, just in case we don't feel comfortable with that. So then we're gonna go ahead and get this thing prepped. We're gonna do the process on that. We'll show you that, and then we're gonna go ahead and get some sealer primer going, and hopefully get some base and clear on. So yeah. So most of the time when you get new bumpers, usually they're supposed to come pretty perfect. At least that's how they're supposed to come. But unfortunately on this bumper, it came with some imperfections on it. And we're not really sure that the customer noticed that. But what we're doing for him is just kind of cleaning up a couple spots as I already showed you. Just to, you know, make sure the customer's happy, cover our work a little bit. Customer knows, he understands, but it is still unfortunate that we're using this bumper. Most of the time you can just return them until you get a better condition one, but it's the weekend where he got it is actually closed now, so we're just making do with what we got. So that's kind of like the big thing is sometimes you gotta bite the bullet and just keep going. So that's what we're doing. All right, guys. So as you've seen already, we've been doing some a little bit of filler work. Cool breeze out here. We just did a little filler work, sanded off everything that didn't stick, obviously, because that's not where we wanted it to be. There was just little imperfections in the bumper, so we already knew all that. We are going to go ahead and wipe down this bumper, get it all final cleaned, everything like that, and then we'll go ahead and hang it up. We're gonna see if we can get it to hang from the booth. There's some chains in there, you'll see. This booth is also really familiar because this is where we painted the old, I believe it was a 38 Fiat Coupe. It was a real steel body. If you haven't seen that video, go check that out. It is a banger video. A lot of good content on that, and it was a really cool job. But we're gonna go ahead and get this wiped down, get it all prepped up, and we're gonna spray some adhesion promoter on it, and then we'll get into some primer and sealer. Growing up, but turns out I like to paint cars, so that's what I'm doing. That's what I went to school for, and that's what I'm gonna keep doing. It's also fascinating because a lot of people can work on cars and wrench on cars and do like a lot of mechanical work, but I feel like it really takes the art of being able to actually paint, do body work, do metal work, and stuff like that. And you know, I understand that's not everybody's thing that they grow up knowing how to do. Everybody, you know, picks up a wrench with their dad in the garage, and they always learn how to wrench that way, but this is a totally different ball game, totally different scenario. I'm not saying it couldn't be the same for other people in different scenarios and same situations, but I'm just saying that painting's an art. So that's why I like doing it. I hate drawing, but I like spraying a spray gun. So just primed it, as you know, and we didn't really like how it turned out. As you all know, plastic is really risky, whether it's raw or primed. But the process with that does take a little more time. So, you know, we went through the steps. It did kind of solve the pop a little bit, but we did wait about an hour or so, and we went ahead and wet sanded it down with some 600. Came out really nice, super smooth. We're gonna go ahead and go into this next coat or phase, if you will. We're gonna spray another coat of primer. Honestly, this stuff happens all the time. It's just part of the game. Whether it's base, clear, primer, sealer, things always happen, and that's just how it is in life. So here's the look of the bumper here. We're gonna take a quick look. As you can see, we just wiped it down. Everything is sanded, really nice. We're gonna spray some adhesion promoter on these couple spots here, and then we are going to spray another go around of primer, sealer, and we're gonna kind of lay it on a little thicker because this will be the sealer coat, if you will, right before base coat. And then once we get done with base coat, I think, like I said, we're gonna put 2 in a drop, 2 in a control, whatever you want to call it. Once we do that, we're gonna let it sit for maybe about 30-45 minutes just to make sure everything is good and go. And then we're gonna go ahead and spray some clear coat. So I think everything should go according to plan. I think once we lay this primer down, everything should be good. Nick is cleaning the gun right now, so we're getting ready to mix up another batch of some primer sealer, and kind of go from there. So I think we'll be all right. All right, guys. So we did just lay our primer sealer coat there. It came out really nice. Really happy with it. So we're gonna go ahead and let that sit for a little bit. We're gonna get the base coat all stirred up, ready to go, and then we're gonna start spraying some base coat. Sorry. The time right now is roughly midnight on the dot, so we're gonna go ahead and get into that. Nick's gonna lay the first coat of clear here. We just went in there and sprayed. Well, I sprayed, Nick's been spraying, but now it's my turn. He got me all set up, so now I'm just gonna go there and lay some glass, kind of see how it goes. I already sprayed one, but we're about to spray another one down. I mean, just because it's a little sticky, but anyway, just because we can, we're gonna put as many coats as we can. So, like we mentioned before, it's really important to keep your wet edge. This is the first coat, so Nick went pretty mild on his clear, but now it's all set up, and I'm just gonna literally hammer it because that's what I do best. So we just sprayed this. We're gonna check. This is a non-Sean part that it doesn't matter, so we're gonna test it with our finger. As you can see that right there, it's a little sticky, so we might just wait just a hair longer. We want it to be kind of like tacky. So the key is, if you were to take a piece of tape and just touch your finger on it, just like this right here, that's tacky. That's what you want. That means this clear coat is ready to accept more clear coat in other terms. So we're gonna give about another 30 seconds here, and also check other points in this, in your product. So we checked here, we can check here, or even go on the other side there. So let's go check this other side real quick. And I mean, you can even touch right here. That's fine. Right here, that's tacky, so that's ready to go because this is where we started. So I'm gonna put money on. We're gonna start on this side. By the time we get over there, we're gonna be ready to rock. I'm gonna give it just one more minute just to confirm. Sometimes I get too antsy in the booth and I just want to spray, so we're gonna give it just another 30 seconds here. not careful, there's gonna be a run that's gonna start there because it's gonna start to sag down, especially right here in this bendy corner right there. You gotta be careful. So overall, I think everything looks really good. I think the obstacles that we had, we overcame, and I think we're gonna be pretty happy with this end result. So we're gonna go ahead and clean up for the shop. We're gonna get everything done, shut the lights off. It's about 1 in the morning. We're gonna head home, come out tomorrow, maybe around 7 o'clock, and we're gonna get this thing put back in the car, ship it out the door, and be good to go. I think the customers are gonna be really happy with this, and I think we made a good video today, so that's what's more important. So we're gonna keep on rocking. So I'm happy with it. I think Nick's happy with it too. So I just want to say thank you to everybody once again for tuning in for today's video. It really means a lot for all the support you guys do. If you guys could do me a favor, share this video with one person. Let's try to get to 100 subscribers by the end of next month. So I believe it is September is the next month. Let's try to get to 100 subscribers by then. I'm still going to keep trying to push out content as usual. Me and Nick might have some more jobs lined up, so we'll see. Maybe we can get some things rolling with that. Maybe we can do some stuff with the Integra. Maybe we could do some all-wheel drive stuff. You never know. So this little stuff we do on the side is just kind of things we do in between all of our car stuff because as you guys know, that stuff's expensive. So we really enjoy doing this. It's more of a, not really, I guess it's more of a hobby and then more than a job. I could spray every day. I mean, literally just having a gun in my spray gun in my hand would be ideal. But we're gonna work on that. We're gonna kind of work on getting our name out and kind of doing some stuff here and there. So if you ever need anything, just let us know. But thanks again for tuning in for today's video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.